Hello, my name is John Kubiak. This is my buddy Jimmy Jablonski. Why we're here is because we're filming because a film was called Coffee and Cigarettes. And throughout the whole film, they talk about random stuff while they smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. I am a cigar and whiskey fan. Jimmy's a cigar fan. So today we're going to be drinking some whiskey and smoking cigars. What cigar are you going to be smoking today, Jim Bob?
So I'm smoking a Romeo 1875 Reserve.
And I'm smoking the My Father La Bonjour 1922. Don't know what that is, but it's one of my favorite companies. So we're going to crack that open. Hit it off with a light.
Easy there, bud.
Now we're going to be drinking some Pendleton whiskey. So our first topic of the day is our favorite whiskey. I'm going to start. This is my favorite whiskey we're drinking. It's Pendleton whiskey. First time I found out about this whiskey was a rodeo buddy of mine. He told me that this whiskey sponsors by the NFR, which is the National Federation of Rodeo. So we're going to crack this boy open. What's your favorite whiskey there, Jim?
Well, I can honestly say I don't really have a favorite whiskey. I've tried a couple, but never stuck with any singular whiskey.
You're more of a beer guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite beer there, bud?
Honestly, I could say that, I don't have a singular favorite beer. Different beers for different occasions. If I'm going to be sitting around for a while, I'm going to be drinking a stout, something to sip on. Never going to chug a stout.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. If I'm on the beach, I'm not going to drink a Bud Light. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna want a Corona or something.
Exactly.
There's a coronavirus going around.
Corona and lime. You gotta enjoy that on a hot day.
Or some nice, maybe rum and some Coke on the beach. But my favorite beer is Budweiser. I know. What a shocker.
You look like a Budweiser drinker.
What was that beer that you brought over last time? It's like Dragon's Milk or something?
Yeah.
I thought that was your favorite.
It's definitely one of them. But that's one that I'm gonna sit there for, an hour with family and sip it slowly. I'm never gonna bring that to a party and chug it. That's for sure.
How much was it? Was it only a 4-pack too?
Yeah. It was expensive enough. But I share that one with my dad. It's a personal favorite of both of ours.
Yeah. It's my favorite cigar quote is by Dennis Prager. It goes with I could tie it to pretty much anything, but I'm gonna tie it with cigars and whiskey. Whiskey can it doesn't matter what the most expensive expensive beer or something. It's just something that you like. Good for you. You shouldn't judge.
Yeah.
Well, say what was the worst liquor you've ever had?
Worst liquor I've ever had?
Yeah, the stuff that just made you just not.
So one night, my friends bought a bottle of Everclear. So it's 99% alcohol, and it's just straight alcohol. There's no flavor to it. And I smelled it. I didn't even take a sip of it. I just smelled it, and I was like, nope, I am not drinking that. It smelled like paint remover.
Mine was Crown Royal, not any of that flavored stuff. A buddy of mine, we brought it back to the barn to try some first time, and I threw up. That was the only alcohol. I have a high tolerance for alcohol, but it was the only alcohol where I threw up, and I did not feel good after that.
I have an absolute abysmal alcohol tolerance, so I don't drink very much, and I don't drink very often. And when I do, it's very small amounts, just because honestly, I never enjoyed the feeling of being drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something that I don't personally enjoy. I mean, I will go to a party and I am perfectly happy being DD for people because of that. So it makes me, it makes me invited to a lot more parties than I probably, should be. Just because my friends are like, yo, we're going to a party. You should come with. You can meet DD. And I was like, okay, sure.
So you don't really have. So if you let's say you're in a store, you're in a liquor store. Let's just say you're in a liquor store. It doesn't matter how you got there, and you want a bottle of something. What is going to be your go-to bottle? Mine is Pendleton or Jack Daniels. I used to be a Jack Daniels fan until a buddy showed me this Pendleton whiskey.
I mean, if I'm gonna go for whiskey, I guess.
Or any whiskey, bourbon, brandy, anything.
I mean, I enjoy Evan Williams, their honey whiskey. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't mind sipping on.
You could get a 175 for like $30 too. That's cheap stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
Failing that, I might pick up a bottle of wine. I've never really talked about my own enjoyment in wine, but good wine is good wine. And every once in a while, I like having a glass.
Uh-huh.
But that's my own personal preference. I was raised in a family that drinks wine and beer more than whiskey or any other hard liquor. So my tastes are more geared that way, I guess.
Well, with wine, bringing up wine, I don't know, I can't drink that by myself. Like, if I'm with a lady and we're out,
I mean, wine's a classy drink, let's face it,
I'm okay drinking this by myself.
Like, if I'm gonna have a glass of wine, it's not gonna be, me sitting alone in my house. No, I'm gonna be, having a glass of wine with dinner, right? Something like that. Or it's gonna be, I'm with family and, we're having, it's a party for someone. I'm gonna have a glass of wine then.
Have a nice glass of wine. With me, it's always been a romantic thing, wine. You see in movies all the time. Whiskey was always the man drink, Hang out with a couple of guys, smoke some stogies, and drink some whiskey, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, brother.
I mean, in a lot of movies, it's what? I feel like it's bourbon or scotch.
Well, that's more of the rich end. You don't see a rodeo cowboy like me drinking a $80 bottle of scotch,
I mean, I don't see anyone drinking an $80 bottle of scotch in real life, John.
No.
Let's face it, I only see that in movies.
Yeah, this bottle only cost me $39.99. That's not including tax, but up here there's a crap ton of tax, Especially these cigars. All right, we're gonna switch topics for now. So, what's your favorite cigar? I know you're a Romeo and Juliet type of guy, but I know you smoked a lot of Romeo and Juliet, so you can't really. Can you particulate to one?
Honestly, I like the Reserve. Whether I don't exactly have a favorite year, just because trying to find the same year in different buy-ins is difficult, just because of how stocks work. But I have a preference towards the Reserve. I also don't mind other cigars. I prefer a lighter blend.
So you're more of a Connecticut type of guy, instead of more of a Maduro or something. It's different for me. I like the more lighter blends when I'm doing something. Like I'm either driving a tractor or riding a horse or just doing everyday life. I'll do a nice Connecticut, But I like to do a darker, more heavy set one when I'm chilling with the guys. I know this is more on the darker end, more middle.
But let's face it, we're sitting here, we're chilling.
Yeah.
You're not doing any hard lifting.
Yeah. But yeah, so my favorite company, let's say, is My Father. All right.
Yeah, I've seen you smoke.
And people who don't know what My Father is, it's not my actual father. It's a company called My Father Cigars. This is a La Bajor, 1922. my father's cigar is the Connecticut. This is more of a box press torpedo type cigar. Bought this at the local shop. Wanted to try it, and so far it's pretty good in my eyes. I mean, but you know what was a good cigar? That Amazon, that CAO that I smoked the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the still the what's it called? The stem wrapped around.
Yeah.
Around. You know, it's funny. That cigar at the local shop is $16. $16 or $15 or something. Maybe it's $16 with tax dollars. But you go down 30 minutes to the reservation, you could get them for $6. You know.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
that's how much tax they tax the hell out of these things. You know.
I mean, hey, it definitely keeps everyone from buying them, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the big thing was you don't want just everyone buying these, you know?
Why not? I started smoking cigars at the age of 14, stealing my older brother's from his little thing that he kept under his bed. Sorry, Dan, but yeah.
I mean, hey, you had an older brother who to do that with, right? I'm the oldest in my family,
Mm-hmm.
so no one to steal alcohol from, no one to steal cigars from. So I got into it much later. I have a slightly different perspective on it, and honestly, smoking not for everyone.
Yeah.
It really
What was
is.
your first cigar?
I don't.
See, I don't remember my first cigar because it was when I was 4. It was actually when I was 8 or something back on the ranch. But my first cigar that I remembered was a I think it was a Brick House or something like that. You know, it wasn't a kind of expensive, but it wasn't a cheap cigar.
First cigar I ever had was one that you gave me. I don't remember what.
Wasn't it like my 19th birthday or 18th birthday?
I wasn't. I don't think I was really hanging out with you at that time. It was. I think the first cigar you ever gave me was a CAO American on like the 4th of July.
No, it was Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
I remember
yeah.
now. Yeah, I bought 2, and I looked at you, and I'm like, "Hey, Jimmy, you want to try a cigar?" And you had your vape in your hand at the time.
Those were different days.
And you're like, "Yeah, I'll try it. Hell yeah, brother, let's go." You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Now I got you hooked, and now your mom hates me.
She doesn't hate you, John. We've gone over this. I lost count of how many times we've gone over this.
Yeah, well, cigar isn't for everybody, but, you know, you like it, I like it.
And that's enough for us.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to switch topics again. We're going to switch to another American thing, which is guns. And we could go on and on about guns, me and you.
What we wish we could shoot, what we haven't shot.
Well, let's
what
first
we have
talk.
shot.
Let's first say, what was the first gun you've ever shot? And I'm not talking about BB guns or pellet guns, 'cause, you know, like, first actual gun, other than a .22, alright?
Probably your 223, your bolt action. From there, it was just kind of. For me, my family's never been big on guns. We don't own any. So the only time I ever shoot is when I'm with friends who are like, "Yo, want to go shooting?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Mm-hmm.
So they take me out. So I shoot whatever guns they have available to them. One of my personal favorites was a couple of my friends. They own an AR-15.
So those are the guys down in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. First gun I ever shot. God, I shot so many. I think it was my dad's Mossberg shotgun. The one that he bought from his friend. That was like a police special that they used to carry in the cars. And the second gun I ever shot was my dad's .44 Magnum. And, oh my god.
Those things have a bit of kick to them.
Have you ever shot one before?
I have.
Oh, I love them.
It was definitely an experience.
Mm.
Because I I knew that it was gonna kick, but I wasn't sure how much it was gonna kick. So I went into it bracing myself, and it kicked a decent amount, but controllable.
I fell in love with it. My dad bought his 44 Magnum in 1970 something, when Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood's character, made it popular. And back then it was the most powerful handgun in the world. And I grew up watching those types of stuff. You know the stories. Like, instead of watching,
you're a Western kid.
Yeah, and so I just fell in love with it. And, it's such a beautiful gun. So, I know you never bought a gun yet. I have. I've only bought one gun in my life so far. But if you were planning on buying, I know you're planning on buying down the road. What gun do you think you would buy first? Don't know. Well, let's say, what do you want to use it for? Home defense, something to go shoot, or a little bit of both. Home defense, something to go shoot.
Yeah, for me, I've never been hunting. I've never really wanted to go hunting. So if I were to buy a gun, it would probably be more home defense mixed with something to take to the range every once in a while.
So like a shotgun or more of a rifle?
Probably more of a rifle. Just kind of take it out to a range, enjoy a day with it.
See, I see you buying those classic. What are those? It's like the bigger brother to my 223, the 308 version. I see you buying one of those, not for home defense, but like more of something to shoot.
Just something to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first gun I bought was a Marlin lever action model 33 something. I don't know. It's 30-30. You shot it a couple times.
Yeah.
We actually were supposed to go last weekend, but
weather plus it being a Sunday.
Yeah, and a ton of people at the range.
Places were busy, so.
Yeah, and they don't like us shooting in the cornfields anymore around here, But all that gun. You think about getting a pistol permit down the line?
Yeah.
So I know you like more pistols. You're more of a pistol guy.
Honestly, I just haven't shot enough to be any one type of gun, right?
Well, you're a gun nut without ever owning a gun. I'm a gun nut. Any gun out there we want,
Yeah. Coolest thing was I'm friends with a couple of the
law enforcement
officers here, and I asked one of them to show me the Glock that they carry. So he unloaded it. He allowed me to hold it. It was interesting. I was expecting it to be a lot lighter than it was, but granted, his had the whole flashlight set up on it, so that adds a bit of weight, but it still had like decent amount of weight. Like I knew if you took off that flashlight, it would still be feelable in your hand, the weight of it, and that was unloaded too.
Yeah.
Granted, this was before I'd really held too many guns, so I wasn't sure weight wise like how heavy it would be, but that was cool. He offered to take me shooting.
See, I like the Glock, but I'm more of a 1911 guy. You know that.
Yeah. I know that would be a pistol that you'd pick up.
Glocks are a good weapon. They're good for everybody. Like let's say I was like you, for example. You're not. Let's say you grew up on more of the progressive side. Let's just say.
I mean, the thing about Glocks is they're not super expensive either.
And it seems like anybody can shoot them. They're like,
they're fairly easy to operate.
So, like, I would trust, my wife to hold, for home defense if anything happens and I'm not there. Because they're so easy to shoot. All you gotta do is rack that slide and just start pulling away.
I mean, one of the reasons they're so easy to operate is because they don't have the external hammer. It's an internal hammer. So all you have to do is, get a round loaded in the chamber and pull the trigger. So
would you go with a 9mm, a 40mm, or 45?
I mean, I guess it depends on what it's for, right? Like, if I'm going to be going to the range, just kind of plinking targets.
9mm.
9mm.
It's
cheap ammo, and it's fairly readily available, right? Home defense, I don't know, I'd probably still go with a 9mm. Like, in a home defense situation, most people who are entering your home aren't going to be wearing body armor. So, like, you don't exactly need a 45, you know, to do anything to stop them, right? So
yeah, I would get a 9mm for my wife if she ever wants to have a gun of her own. You know, first off, I would, you know, I'd say to get the lever action, use that first. But if you can't get to the lever action, I'd say get the pistol, you know. Plus, it's easy to maneuver around in the house and all that stuff. But for me personally, so let's switch it over to concealed carry. Mine, I was looking online. My gun that I want to buy is the Colt Defender. It's a 9mm 1911, and it's a 1911, but it's a smaller package. It's got a shorter barrel and it's got a shorter pistol grip, so it's easy to hide, but
it's not going to be in your way when you're walking.
So I was looking at that. Yeah, I was looking at that, and I saw a 45 version that was cheaper, and I'm kind of leaning towards the 45 because 9mm, yeah, you can have a ton of ammo, but I know a lot of 45 guys like that, but they like the stopping power. I know a lot of people say, well, what if you miss? You know, I mean, but if you're in let's say you're in a.
But if you fire off a round, most people are going to get spooked anyways, so that makes them think twice about trying anything.
Yeah, and plus, what if you're in like a small alleyway? You can miss. Let's say that. You can miss. Anybody can miss, you know. But if I'm in a small alleyway and there's not really anywhere to run, the 45's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know.
But 9mm is also going to be fine. Like, regardless, the situation, you know, if you're in such a situation where it calls for that, you know, regardless of what round you're using, if it's getting fired at somebody, it's gonna make them hesitate, especially.
Yeah. Oh, they have a statistic. Yeah, I can't talk today. Over 3 million 3 million crimes are stopped from a firearm. And most of those crimes are not reported because most of the time, just when you pull out that gun, the person's going to stop, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I've seen cases where my little hesitation about the 9mm is like, I've seen some cases where sometimes it doesn't penetrate thick clothing, you know? So the 45, the 45 is going to go right through that. Yeah. Other than body armor. I don't see that, like you said, not everybody's wearing body armor unless they're part of Antifa or something, you know.
Or they're law enforcement, but in which case, if you're shooting at law enforcement, well,
you deserve to die. But
I don't know a single person who wears body armor on the daily. Do you, John? Other than law enforcement and soldiers.
Yeah, no. Well, I saw this new holster though. It goes below your waist. It sits right on your you just pull it up.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because
I see those ads on occasion. They pop up.
Especially when you're watching YouTube, like some guns.
Yeah, exactly. Or just even just like, you know, having conversations about it. You know, next thing you know, I'll get an ad for that instead of, you know.
The government's always watching.
I mean, I'll get an ad for that instead of Raid Shadow Legends or Arc Knights or something, which is a nice, you know, change of pace, because I get those ads all the frickin' time on YouTube, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm never gonna play this game ever.
Yeah. I have so much memory on my phone, but I hardly use it or anything, you know. If I have photos on my phone, if I don't use them, I delete them automatically. I think I have like 2 photos on my phone right now. But
I keep a little more as far as photos go on my phone, but I'm also the same way. I don't take photos very often.
Yeah, I'm not an Instagram type of person.
You don't strike me as an Instagram type of person. Although then you go and ask me, hey, like this photo on Instagram.
I got nobody to like it because I don't want to look like a loser, you know. But
you're not a loser, John.
Hell yeah, brother. God, this whiskey's so good. You're not even drinking yours. Have you even taken a sip yet there, brother?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
thanks for noticing.
Yeah. Damn, I'm smoking that cigar faster than you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was the one who told him to slow down. This boy's a chain smoker of cigars. He just goes right through it. you buy that cigar? Have you had that cigar before?
I don't know if I've ever had the 1875.
You had the brown one. I don't remember because I bought you that when you came home from college.
I think you got me. What was that one?
That was like 18 something. It's 18 something. That's all I got now.
I mean, for the most part, most of them are like, you know, the ones they sell are like 1875, 1975, 1925, 1950. So, I mean, in the memory of like recounting every individual cigar I have, I couldn't tell you.
You should
if
start a book like I do. Yeah, I just hit 50 cigars yesterday.
Is that for the year?
The year. Since January 1st, I smoked so this is my 51st cigar of the year.
Congrats. Happy 51st.
Yeah.
Well, I can honestly say I have not smoked 51 cigars
I don't think you've
this year.
smoked 50 in your whole entire life.
I have.
Oh, yeah. With those small ones that you like.
As well as when, you know, when I'm on break over summer, I get a lot more time and we hang out a lot more, so.
And we're always smoking cigars, or,
you know.
I mean, if we're driving in the truck, or, you know, we're just chilling out in the barn.
Or we're going to the cigar shop.
Or we're going to the cigar shop and smoking cigars there. Man, it's been packed, the cigar shop. I know they're putting in the bar there, but damn, it's been packed. I don't remember the last time I sat down there and smoked a cigar.
Probably with me was the last time.
I think it was Christmas time when we went for
it was probably
with the guys.
I think last time me and you went there and actually sat down, it was just after January.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just after New Year's, and I was still slightly on break. I was getting ready to head back. Yo, let's hang out. And I was like, all right, cool.
All right, we got nothing else to do in this small town, so let's go to the cigar shop.
Although now we do have a few more options open to us. Us both being, 21. We can actually go to a bar.
Yeah, but we're not bar type people, you know. I don't really like sitting at a bar. I'd rather sit at home, smoke a stogie, and drink some nice whiskey. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, sure, but every once in a while, it's always a nice change of pace. Go to a bar. I mean, you don't have to do much. You just have a drink or two, hang out with friends. I mean, change your pace more than just sitting at home. Get out, see the world.
See the world in our small town.
I mean, hey, it doesn't have to be a bar in our small town.
Yeah. How do you like the Zippo I just gave you? You like it?
Yeah. Nice.
I bought that when I was in California.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to buy a souvenir, but then I never used it, and I'd rather give it to somebody who probably use it even more. You'll probably use it as not as that much, but still a gift,
Yeah? I mean, hey, how many Zippos do you own?
I think 30. This is my favorite, though.
Yeah,
so.
I see you carrying around that all the time.
This bringing gold Bronking bucks, Bucking Bronco.
I mean, could use a polish and a clean and a polish.
I was actually going to get my name engraved on there.
Yeah?
Or just have my initials, JJK, and all that.
Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, gotta get it polished first.
JJK, Jonathan.
Well, I thought I lost that yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was outside on the tractor at work. And I lit up a cigar because I'm outside. And when I was driving home...
Did you change pockets with it?
No, I left it in my car. And I was freaking out because, I could not lose that. I'm not going to lie, I would cry if I lost that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
JJK. Jonathan what?
Jared Kubiak.
Jared?
Jared. He got it. Go get it from Jared or whatever those commercials.
He got it from Jared?
Yeah. What's your middle name?
Mine is Min.
Min?
Yeah, M-I-N. So I'll have one of the most unusual middle names that you'll hear about.
JMJ.
Yeah.
Alright, so our cameraman just signaled us that we hit our 30-minute mark. So we're gonna finish these cigars off camera, but this was our little spoof of the film Coffee and Cigarettes. I know Jimmy didn't. We mostly smoked the cigarettes more than drank the whiskey. But yeah. We might do another one maybe sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, this was fun.
This is fun. Maybe we'll get some guest appearances on here someday.
Turn this into a YouTube channel. get my older brother in here, who's gladly working the camera right now.
Yeah. And hey, we got plenty of friends who'd enjoy coming on.
Yeah.
You know, talking with us.
All right, you super punchers. We're gonna head off. You guys have a wonderful day. Keep smoking. Keep drinking. Drink responsibly.
See you next time.
And, yep. See you next time.